this is Dawn Clevisall with Stress Free Tax Season. And I just wanted to let you guys know that we did go through a couple changes and we are changing the business name. So you're going to see Stress Free Bookkeeping rather than Stress Free Tax Season. And this is actually our third episode of Stress Free Bookkeeping TV. We had tax season in the name because that was my email address. And when we moved to Washington State, someone else already had the business name that I was using before. So I went ahead and just did, we'll just do stress-free tax season, but then everyone thinks I do taxes, which is totally not what I am interested in or do or anything. So what I do is I help you with your bookkeeping so that when it comes for time for tax season, it's stress-free for you because you know that you've done everything that you're supposed to do. You're all set. So you're going to be seeing that a little bit more. Even the Facebook group is stress-free bookkeeping social group now. So I'm going to talk today about the debt snowball, and then later on today in my Facebook group, if you want to check that out, I will be doing a demonstration on actually what it looks like for you, because I'm not really sure how to share my screen in this Facebook Live format. So I didn't want to do just something that was going to be weird. So so I'm going to go ahead and I'll record a video for you guys, and it'll be over in the group. So I want to talk to you about the debt snowball. It's something that's been around for quite a while, and if you're not familiar with what that is, it is taking all of your debt, making a list, and making that list have a hierarchy from your smallest to your largest. So that's really your first step. So your first step is look at everything that you owe. Let's put it in an Excel sheet, smallest to largest. The next thing that you want to do is put your minimum payments for each on that list as well. So, I created an Excel file, and then I put my debt in there, and then if I didn't have it handy, I would log into the bank website and look, and it's in there. It's kind of hidden, but it's usually, if you can pull up the statement at least, it's going to be on your statement with what your minimum payments are. And sometimes it's going to be an average, but for the most part, if you've had that debt for a while, you're going to know about how much your minimum payment is. Now, the cool thing is that most of us are paying more than the minimum payment. No one wants to pay the minimum. I mean, we'd like to, but no, you feel kind of like, well, I'm not going to pay my card off if I just pay the minimum. But so then we end up in this cycle that's of debt because we're paying all this money on all these different credit cards, and none of it is really reducing our debt. Because the best way to reduce it is to get rid of it so that you're not having the monthly payment. You're also not having the yearly fee that gets tacked on there. So really the best way to do that. So the next step that I recommend, which is step 3, is to add up and just make another column, put what you're currently paying for each of those cards in that column. And then we're just going to do a little bit of math for the next step. So step 4, I want you to go ahead and just subtract your minimum from what you're currently paying. And the nice thing about that, like I said, most people are not paying the minimum. If you are, your step might be a little bit different, but for the most part, you're paying more, or maybe you don't even realize you're paying more. And I ran into someone the other day who said, well, I don't know how to pay all this off. And we talked about it. They're paying an extra $100 on every credit card. Well, that's your cushion. That's what we're going to use. So here's how the debt snowball actually works. So what you're going to do is you're going to pay your lowest credit debt. It doesn't have to be credit card, but your lowest debt is going to get paid off first. And the way that works is that you're going to take that minimum payment that we now have, and you're going to take the difference, right? So you have some extra. So say it's even $200. So you have I've been paying $200 more than the minimum payments. So you're going to start paying the minimum payments on everything except for the smallest amount. So with your smallest amount, you're going to pay the minimum payment plus that $200. And the interesting thing about how quickly this works is that the relief that you feel when it's done, but it really does work. And if you're anything like me, you're going to feel like, what's the right way to say this? You feel like going back to the old way. Even when you see it working, you're like, but I'm so comfortable throwing all this money at everything to pay it off. But it really does work. I started doing this. I'd done it in the past, but I started doing this again a couple months ago with our own debt, and I can tell you personally that we've paid off 2 credit cards already. And it wasn't a whole lot more money that we spent per month. It was just rearranging it. And now we'll hit the next debt, and then we'll hit the next debt. And then even though you're only paying the minimum, you're actually making progress towards eliminating your debt. And that's where the beauty of the debt snowball comes in. So let me see. I want to make sure. So step 5 was pay your minimum, and then for the first card, and then any of the extra money that you had from that calculation goes towards that. And then step 6 is to pay your minimum on every other card. And then step 7 is, I'm sorry, I'm checking my notes here. When the first debt's paid off, then you're going to roll that payment in. So this is really, really important. So assuming you've been paying on this debt for a while anyway, the money that you're spending is already going out. So what we don't want you to do is pay off that card and then say, oh, I have $250 that I can spend every month. Want you to just pretend, not even pretend because you just have other debt, but want you to just roll that into the next payment. So if your next credit card had a minimum payment of $25, now you're going to add those together. And what I say, $250. So you're going to have $275 going towards that next debt. And that's why it is so powerful, and it just really knocks it out super fast, because if you can be patient, within a few months, you start to see that, oh yeah, okay, that debt's gone, now that debt's gone, now that debt's gone. And as you get into the debts where you owe more, you've got more to pay, because now you've rolled all these payments, all your minimum payments. So say your bottom 3 cards were $25 minimum, and you rolled your $250 into that. Now you've got a lot more than just the $250 going towards the biggest debt. So it really is powerful, and it works. If you did your calculation and you've only been paying the minimums, I would suggest that you look at your bank records for the last few months, see where you may be paying for subscriptions that you don't use, gym memberships that you don't use that you won't be penalized if you cancel, how much coffee you drink. I know, I probably shouldn't say that. Don't cut back on your coffee if you don't need to, but just kind of looking at where you can squeeze out even another, $50. Anything that you can squeeze into that is going to make a huge difference for you. And honestly, most of us are overspending on our personals, so that, the money is there if you need it. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about today. I just really it's something I woke up this morning and I was really thinking about how great it is that this is working for us, and I wanted to share that with you. Again, I'm going to do a video where I'll have an Excel sheet up and show you exactly what this looks like. So if you want to jump over to the Facebook group and join that if you haven't already, it is Stress-Free Bookkeeping Social Group if you search in the groups on Facebook. So this has been Dawn Clevisol with Stress-Free Bookkeeping, and I'm really happy that you were here today, and have a wonderful day.